Hello, welcome to Study Circle. Today we are going to read Class 9th Standard Geography, Chapter 2 Physical Features of India. This video is intended for those who are preparing for any teaching exam. This is the summary of the whole chapter and very useful for revision purpose. So without wasting any more time, let's start. Physical Features of India. We are already learned that India is a vast country with varied landforms. The land of India displays great physical variation. Geologically, the peninsular plateau constitutes one of the ancient landmasses on the Earth's surface. India has all major physical features of the Earth, that is, mountains, plains, desert, plateaus, and island. How these physical features formed? There are some theories behind the formation of physical features. One such theory is the theory of plate tectonics. What is theory of plate tectonics? This theory explains that upper part of the earth called crust divided into 7 major and some minor plates called tectonic plates. The movement of these plates builds up stresses within the plates and also the continental rocks above which result in folding, faulting and volcanic activity. The movements can be classified into three types broadly, that is convergent boundary, divergent boundary and transfer boundary. In convergent boundary, when some plates come towards each other form convergent boundary, it may lead to either collide or crumble or one may slide under the other. Divergent boundary, when some plates move away from each other, it forms divergent boundary. Transform boundary, when some plates move horizontally past each other and form transform boundary. The movements of the plates along with the process such as weathering, erosion and disposition have changed the position and size of the continents over millions of years and also responsible for the evolution of the present landform features of India. The oldest landmass, that is peninsular part of India, was part of Gondwana land. What is Gondwana land? There was a time when India, Australia, South Africa, South America and Antarctica were one single landmass known as Gondwana land. It was the southern part of supercontinent Pangaea. Northern part was known as Angara land. The below detailed picture of Gondwana land will make you more clear. So here is the image of Gondwana land. Here is South America, Africa, Arabia, India, Antarctica, Australia and this is New Guinea. Formation of Himalayas. The earth crust was divided into a number of pieces by convectional currents. The Indo-Australian plate separated from the Gondwana land and drifted towards north, which resulted in the collision of the plate with the much larger Eurasian plate. Due to this collision, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the geosyncline known as Tethys were folded, which resulted in the formation of mountain system of Western Asia and Himalaya. Formation of northern plain. The uplift of Himalayas from Tethys Sea and settling of the northern flank of the peninsular plateau created a large basin. In due time, gradually the basin got filled with deposition of sediments by the rivers flowing from the mountain in the north and the peninsular plateau in the south, which created a flat land of extensive alluvial deposits known as northern plains of India. Geologically, the peninsular plateaus are most stable land blocks as it was one of the ancient land masses on the Earth's surface. The Himalayas and the northern plains are most recent landforms. The Himalayan mountains form an unstable zone as it has very youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys and fast flowing rivers. Major physiographic division of India. First, the Himalayan mountains. It is geologically young and structurally folded mountains which run along the northern borders of India. The ranges run from Indus to east direction to the Brahmaputra, covering a distance of about 2,400 km, representing loftiest peaks in the world. Width varies from 400 km in Kashmir to 150 km in Arunachal Pradesh. Altitude height variation is greater in the eastern half than those of the western half. Longitudinal division of Himalayas. The Great Inner Himalayas or the Himadri, the Lesser Himalaya called Himachal and the Sivaliks. The Great or Inner Himalayas or the Himadri, it is the northernmost range and the most continuous range consisting of loftiest peak with an average height of 6,000 meters. It contains all the famous peaks. The folds are asymmetrical in nature. The basic part of the Himalayas is composed of granite. It is perennially snowbound and a number of glaciers descend from this range. The Lesser Himalaya or Himachal. It lies south of the Himadri, forms the most rugged mountain system. It is mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The height varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters and the average width is of 50 km. Longest and most important ranges are Pir Panjal range and Dhauladhar and the Mahabharat ranges. Mahabharat ranges are in Nepal. Famous valley of these ranges are of Kashmir, the Kangra and Kullu Valley in Himachal Pradesh. Also, this range is famous for hill stations. The Sivaliks. This is the outermost range of Himalayas. They extended over a width of 10 to 50 km and have a height varying between 900 and 1100 meters. It is composed of unconsolidated sediments brought down by rivers from the main Himalayan ranges. These valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalaya and Sivaliks are known as dunes. Dehradun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun are some of the well-known dunes. Himalayas division on the basis of region from east to west division have been made by the river valleys. Punjab Himalayas, the part of Himalayas lying between Indus and Satluj from west to east respectively, regionally known as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya. Kumayu Himalayas, the part of Himalayas lying between Satluj and Kali rivers. Nepal Himalayas, the part lying between Kali and Tista rivers. Assam Himalayas, this part is lying between Tista and Dihang river. The Purvanchal or eastern hills or mountains. The mountain ranges of eastern India is marked by the Brahmaputra. The Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India after the Dihang Gorge. These hills running through the northern eastern states, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, eastern Assam states are mostly composed of strong sandstone which are sedimentary rocks. Hills are covered with dense forest. It comprises the Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, Manipur's Hill and Mejo Hills. The northern plains. The northern plain has been formed by the interplay of three major river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra along with its tributaries. It is formed of alluvial soil. The vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalaya is deposited with alluvium, fine particles of silt and clay and larger particles of sand and gravel over a million of years and formed this plain. Area of the northern plain that is spread around 7 lakh square kilometer. Length of northern plain is 2400 kilometer and breadth of northern plain is 240 to 320 kilometer. It is a densely populated region. It is agriculturally very productive region of India due to rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply and favorable climate. The river coming from northern mountains brought a huge amount of eroded soil which helped in the depositional work. In the lower course, due to gentle slope, the velocity of the river decreases which result in the formation of riverine island, an island formed by the river. Also in lower course, river is split into numerous channels due to the deposition of silt known as distributaries. The northern plain is broadly divided into three parts. The Punjab plains, the western part of northern plains formed by the Indus and its tributaries. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. The Ganga plains, it is extended between Ghaggar and Tista rivers, spread over the states of northern India, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partly in Jharkhand and West Bengal. The Brahmaputra plains, it lies in the east of Ganga Plain, particularly in Assam. Northern Plain is not flat land. The vast plains also have diverse relief features. Northern plains can be divided into four regions according to the various in relief features. That is Bhabar, laying at the foot of Sivalik, a narrow of 8 to 16 km wide belt of pebbles. Terai, lying next to Bhabar, a wet and marshy area with wildlife and forests. Bhangar, older alluvium plain which rises above the level of the flood plains. Khadar, younger alluvium of the floodplains. Peninsular Plateau. The peninsular plateau is a tableland and composed of old crystalline, igneous, and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land. The plateau consists of two broad divisions, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The Central Highland, it lies to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of Malwa Plateau. The Vindhyan range is bounded by Central Highland on the south and the Aravallis on the northwest. The further westward extension gradually merges with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. Rivers in this area, the Chambal, the Sindh and the Betwa and Ken. The central highlands are wider in the west but narrower in the east. The eastward extension of this plateau are locally known as Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. The Chotnagpur Plateau marks the further eastward extension drained by the Damodar River. The Deccan Plateau, it is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. The Satpura Range bound its broad base in the north while the Mahadev, the Kaimur Hills and the Maikal Range form its eastern extension. It is higher in the west and slopes gently eastwards. An extension of Deccan Plateau is also visible in the northeast, locally known as the Meghalaya Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Kachar Hills. It is separated by a fall from the Chotnagpur Plateau. Three prominent hills ranges from the West to east are Garo, the Khasi, and the Jaintia Hills. A distinct feature of the peninsular plateau is black soil area known as Deccan Trap. The Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghat mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, the differences between them. Western Ghat mark the western edge of the Deccan Plateau and they are continuous and can be crossed through the passes only. The height of the Western Ghat is average 900 to 1600 meter. Western Ghat range is a source of many large rivers such as Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri and experiences orographic rain mostly in summer due to the summer monsoons. The height of Western Ghats progressively increases from north to south and the highest peak include the Anamudi that is 2695 meter and the Doda Betta is 2637 meter. While the Eastern Ghats mark the eastern edge of the Deccan Plateau. Eastern Ghats are discontinuous, irregular, and dissected by rivers draining into the Bay of Bengal. Eastern Ghat is lower than Western Ghats and average height is 600 meters. No big rivers originate from the Western Ghats. Western Ghats receives rainfall mostly in winter season through the northeastern monsoons. And Mahendragiri is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghats. Sevara Hills and the Jawadi Hills are located to the southeast of the Eastern Ghats. The Indian Desert. The Indian Desert lies towards the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. It is a land of undulating topography covered with sand dunes. This region receives very low rainfall below 150 mm per year. It has arid climate with low vegetation cover. Luni is the only large river in this region. Barchans or Barkans, that is crescent-shaped dunes, cover larger areas, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near the Indo-Pakistan boundary. The coastal plains. The narrow coastal strips flank the peninsular plateau, running along the Arabian Sea on the west and Bay of Bengal on the east. It consists of three sections. Northern part of the coast is called the Konkan, Mumbai to Goa. Central stretch is called the Kannur Plain. Southern stretch is called the Malabar Coast. The plains along the Bay of Bengal east part are wide and level. The northern part is known as Northern Sarkar, while the southern part is known as Coromandel Coast. Large rivers such as Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri have formed extensive delta on eastern coast. Lake Chilika is an important feature along the eastern coast. The island, the Lakshadweep island group in the Arabian Sea is close to Kerala. This group of islands is composed of small coral islands. The Lakshadweep islands were earlier known as Lakhadweep, Minicoy, and Amindweep. It covers a small area of 32 square kilometers. Kavaratti Island is the administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep. The Pitti Island, which is uninhabited, has a bird sanctuary. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are an elongated chain of islands located in the Bay of Bengal. They are bigger in size and are more numerous and scattered. The entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories, the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. These islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. How these diverse physical features useful for India? The mountains are the major source of water and forest wealth. Secondly, the northern plains are of granaries of the countries. The plateau is a storehouse of minerals which has played a crucial role in the industrialization of the country. And the last one is that the coastal region and island groups provide sites for fishing and port activities. So this is the summary of this chapter. If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe. Thank you.